Howdy, this is Chef Mick from Tony's Markets, and we're going to make tomato sauce today, particularly marinara sauce. Let's start out with lots of olive oil here. Marinara sauce has a rather high level of olive oil to it. That's part of the reason it tastes so darn good. I'm going to get the olive oil going in a medium-high pan, and I'm going to put a little onion in there. And normally I like to let this saute for a little bit because onion needs a little bit more time. If you do it kind of slowly, it sweetens up really nicely. So we'll give this just about 5 minutes and let it soften a bit. Now I'm going to add a little bit of bell pepper to this, just because I had some bell pepper cut up anyway. Marinara is really flexible. Whatever you feel like putting in there will work out. I guess the story goes that it's like a marinara sauce, and they would be able to make this very simply and easily on the boat. Another story says when the wives could see the mass coming home, they would have to cook dinner quickly. When they see the fishermen coming back, they'd see the mass, they had to cook dinner quickly so they could make this marinara sauce very, very quickly. And so goes the story. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Now I want to add a little extra flavor to this. I'm going to put in some pancetta. Pancetta is one of my favorite ingredients. It's like an Italian bacon. And this one's a little bit lean for my tastes, but it's cured, but it's not smoked, so it really adds a nice flavor. So I'm going to mix that in here, really as a flavoring agent. Okay. All right, and I got a little fresh chopped garlic. It's going to be great in there. This has been sauteing together slowly for about 5 minutes or so. Got the pancetta and garlic and onion. I had a little bit of bell pepper in here, and I think that's about it. Let's add the tomatoes. I cut up just a bunch of tomatoes, and then the riper the better. I've got some black tomatoes in here and some red and some yellow tomatoes. Whatever you have is fine, but of course it seems when you have more variety in the tomato, it gives you a little bit more flavor, a little bit more dimension. And add all this in here, and I'm going to turn it up a little bit. What we're going to try to do is get to cook some of the moisture out of this. During most of the year, I'm going to use canned tomatoes to make this. And if you can your own tomatoes, it's going to be amazing. The canned tomatoes are actually higher in lycopene, which is a little bit healthier for you. But when you have fresh tomatoes and you have a lot of them at their best flavor, that's the best time to make marinara from fresh. All right, we're going to let this simmer for a little bit. You could cover it if you want. Oh, I've got some herb. I almost forgot my herb. A little bit of oregano I'm going to throw in here. Definitely oregano is something you should consider planting. It grows really well. It comes back very nicely. All right. I'm going to give this a little bit of time to cook and soften up. And I'm going to add a little wine to it. I like to use a red wine or Madeira or Marsala. You know, if you like it, it'll be fine. If you only got white wine, that'd be fine too. Or if you didn't have any wine, you could add a little tomato juice. That'd be nice also. Or a little vegetable cocktail. Nice stuff. And I'm going to cover it up so it doesn't evaporate too fast. Yeah, it's partially covered there. We're going to let it cook, simmer, till it's about the way you like. I'm going to say 5-10 minutes. All right, this has been going about 5 minutes here covered. I want to test it, get a little taste. A little salt and pepper. It's tasting really, really nice. The disadvantage to whole fresh tomatoes is they're a little harder and they don't break down as good. So ideally you want to get the ripest tomatoes possible. Even overripe is going to be really nice. A few more minutes and this is going to be done. All righty, this should be about done. I'm going to finish it uncovered now. Yeah, this is looking good. Again, a good time to taste it here. See where you are. Touch more salt, a little more pepper. I'm going to put a little bit of crushed red pepper in here. If you put it in earlier, it adds a little bit more heat to it. If you put it in towards the end, it's not quite as distinct. Now I'm going to take a piece of fish and cut it into little chunks in keeping with the marinara concept, the mariner's concept. We're just going to rest these inside here. And we're going to let that fish kind of poach in the liquid. It'd be nice. Give us a nice meat with this. There we go. Almost forgot that one. Okay. A little pasta. You want to put the pasta in a little bit early, and this is the reason often the pasta is cooked al dente, because it gives you a little bit more time to cook the pasta in the sauce and actually marry with the sauce. It'll absorb some of the liquid from the sauce. So that's why you always want to save a little bit of the pasta cooking liquid. If it starts to dry a little bit too much, we can add just a little drizzle of that cooking liquid to help bring it back. And there's starch in there too, so it'll actually help to thicken up your sauce. Okay. A couple minutes and we'll be eating. Okay, we are done. We had a little bit of time for the pasta to absorb some of the sauce in there and kind of marry with that flavor, and for our fish to get cooked. So it's a very fast dish. You can do this in about 10-15 minutes. If you're in a rush, you take 20 if you really want to get it nice and soft and tender. Here we go. Beautiful. We'll take that and finish with a little bit of fresh basil on top. Some Parmesan cheese, and we are set. A simple homemade marinara with your own tomatoes. You can get these recipes and all the recipes that we do here at digincolorado.com. Let's dig in.